Now, Russia and Ukraine have marked the new year with some fresh strikes. Moscow claims at least 24 people have been killed and 50 others have been injured in a deadly Ukrainian drone strike on a town in southern Ukraine in Kherson. Now, Kiev accuses Moscow of fresh attacks on Odessa. So as the war spills into yet another year, the leaders of the two sides are striking some very different tones, with peace now effectively looking like it is in cold storage. Our next report takes a look as to how the new year has begun in the Russia-Ukraine war.
As the world rings in 2026, drones are in the air, and missiles are on the move. Fireballs replace fireworks. Buzz of drones and boom of explosions drown out midnight celebrations. Russia and Ukraine mark the new year with fresh attacks and bloodshed, with civilians caught in the crossfire. These are the images of the aftermath of the deadly drone strike at a hotel and restaurant in Russian-controlled part of Ukraine's Kherson. Moscow accuses Kyiv of deliberately targeting civilians when they gathered in the Black Sea resort town of Korli on the New Year's Eve. Kherson is one of 4 regions in Ukraine which Russia claimed as its own in 2022, a move Kyiv and most Western countries denounced as an illegal land grab. Moscow says Russian air defense systems destroyed 9 Ukrainian drones as they flew toward the capital. Other regions, including the southern Krasnodar region, reported minor damage as a result of drone attacks there. The drone war is only escalating. Ukraine accuses Russia of launching over 200 drones on New Year. Ukraine's port city, Odessa, continues to battle multiple fires after Russia carried out new strikes. The fresh escalation comes just days after Moscow claimed Ukrainian military attacked President Vladimir Putin's residence in Novgorod region. The Russian Defense Ministry has released video of wreckage and flight route by drones. Moscow says that it destroyed all the Ukrainian drones. Kyiv has called Moscow's charges lie. The EU has backed it, but the US president said he was very angry when asked about the attack on Putin's residence. The Russian president has sent out a strong message, signaling its stance will change while negotiating peace deal.
Together, we are one big family, strong and united, and so we will continue to work and create, achieve our goals and move forward for the sake of our children and grandchildren, for the sake of our great Russia.
US President Donald Trump, who has warmly spoken of Putin, now appears to signal his displeasure with the Russian leader. He shared a New York Post editorial that sharply criticizes the Kremlin and argues Trump should turn up the heat on Russia. As fireworks of New Year fade across the world, the battlefield in Ukraine remains lit. No ceasefire, no pause, no peace in sight. Just a war that refuses to end, even on the first day of the new year. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
All right, now joining us on the broadcast, we've got Mr. Volodymyr Emelian, who's a former major of the armed forces of Ukraine in Kiev and also a politician and a former Minister of Infrastructure of Ukraine between the years 2016 till 2019. Mr. Emelian, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on this broadcast. Now, one was expecting that the year 2026 could bring about some kind of peace given the hectic diplomatic parleys that were underway. But looking at what has transpired in the last 24 to 48 hours, that does not appear to be the case. What do you think is happening at this moment on the Ukrainian battlefield?
Thank you, sir, for having me. It's a great honor to be with you. We are all wish to have peace as soon as possible. But the price of this peace is also under strong consideration. The easiest way for Russia to show that they want some change would be simply to cease fire. And it's enough just one command from Putin that since today, not a single shot from Russian side. And I believe that Ukrainians will do the same.
Right.
But Putin is bluffing. He is lying. If you remember, day before yesterday, I was with your channel as well. We were discussing the issue of attacking Russian's president residence.
Right.
And it turned out to be totally fake story. Nobody attacked Putin residence, regardless that Putin is war criminal and has to be judged and sentenced to life term at least.
All right. Now,
and
this is
ongoing war.
Mr. Omelian, just to set the record straight, this is what the Ukrainian side says, this is what you're saying. But the Russians are pretty clear in what they say has actually transpired. They say that there was a drone attack that took place on one of the residences of Vladimir Putin, and this was clearly an attempt to try and assassinate him. And considering what has happened then, and then the attack that has taken place in the last 24 hours in Kherson, where more than 24 people have been killed in what was effectively a place where there was a New Year party, how does Ukraine respond to that?
It's war, and it's ongoing war on Ukrainian territory. We didn't invade Russia. They commit crimes on Ukrainian occupied territory. The issue of Putin's residence attack turned out totally made up, and it was proved by CIA and other intelligence bodies of United States, of European Union, that there was no attack. And Russia was not able to submit their proofs of such attack. So they simply switched to another issue of Kherson. But simultaneously, they attack Ukraine with hundreds of Shaheds in missiles every day.
Right.
Do they take it as normal? No, we don't think it's normal. Once again, I stress my message. If Russia is honest in its statement that they want to have peace, start with ceasefire today.
I think that's an important thing that you're saying, but my question to you obviously is this. The peace talks that are underway, what do you think will be, will now happen for peace talks? Can you have peace talks when attacks of this nature have now been staged? The Russians say the Ukrainians have clearly done this.
I will tell you my vision. I think that Russia is obsessed with the idea of restoring Russian empire.
Right.
Russia will not stop this war until Russia is totally lost economically and militarily. And it could be 2026 when Red Army will be destroyed and Russian economy will be totally in deep gap and stress.
All right. You're not talking about what is going to be the fate of the peace talks, but you say that the Red Army, that is the Russian army, will be destroyed in the year 2026. We'll have to leave there. We're completely out of time. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Omelian.
Thank you for having me.
And getting us your perspective from Ukraine there. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.